Hi guys, welcome to What's the Word podcast, where we talk about real life, real growth, and real conversations. For any new listeners or those just tuning in, we are basically recapping each month of our first year of marriage live as it's happening. So welcome to our month 3 recap, where we're going to go over our lessons of the month and our blessings of the month.
And we want to really thank all of the people that's decided to join us on this journey so far. We really appreciate you guys, and we will hope that you will continue to engage in us. Like we said before the last bonus episode, we need topics. We need topics to talk about for our What's the War segment of our podcast. So if you got any at all, you won't be mentioned unless you like to. But if you got any topics, just send them in to the What's the War DMs on all social media platforms.
Type in What's the Word and you'll find us.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said this is episode 3. Technically, it's episode 4 because we did one bonus episode on the first of this month. But I feel like we're getting more comfortable, like getting more into our zone. What do people call it? I'm in something. I'm in flow state.
Flow state, yeah.
Because at first, filming is really intimidating, at least for me. And we don't show you guys this, but sometimes when I mess up, I kind of just shut down for a little bit because I get nervous. But now I'm ready.
I ain't never ready. I just say what's on my mind. I just come off the dome with it.
Yeah.
Like a rapper.
Anyway, we're going to go over our blessings of this month, month 3 of our marriage. Would you like to go first? Did you forget?
Yeah, kind of. Could you go first?
Okay, I'll go over first. Ty has to write his down, so he's gonna look. My first blessing of this month is me and Ty were coming home from a road trip, and we were talking about friends versus acquaintances and the difference between the two. And basically, he was asking me what I think the difference between a friend and an acquaintance is. And I basically told him, like, a friend is someone, like, I would invite into my home and I would be comfortable spending time with them, like, in that close setting. And I was just thinking about, I don't have a lot of friends, but I have, like, 2 really close friend groups, and we don't talk all the time or we don't see each other that often. But as we were talking about it, I just felt really grateful that as we were talking, I could think of all my friends, and I was like, yeah, I would love to have them over. I would love to spend time with them and be in close proximity with them. And they are coming over for my birthday, and I'm so excited. As of posting this episode, my birthday will be in 6 days. Wow, and they're coming to visit me for the weekend. Well, one of the friend groups is, and then I'm going to plan to hang out with another friend group. And then I have one, like, really close friend in Nashville that I need to go see. But I was just so grateful to think that every single person in my life that I can call a friend, like, I was just feeling really grateful. So that's one of my blessings.
Just a minute ago, you definitely look like a child that just got what they want out the store. They just got their favorite candy out the store. But no, that's good though. That's good. Do you feel like friendships is something that's important in our life?
Yeah, I think it is good. Like, we'll talk about this later in the episode because it's a relevant topic, but it's good to have a life outside of us. And I am not the kind of person who texts all the time. FaceTime and phone calls make me uncomfortable, if I'm being honest. So I mostly keep to myself. But I will say another thing that makes me so grateful is every single person I think of that I call a friend, I also know that if I ever ask them for anything, they're going to show up. And that I will show up for any one of them.
Yeah,
like,
that's always good.
When we were planning our wedding, he was hesitant to have it farther away from home because he was like, well, you have less people coming. And I was like, no, all of my friends will show up. Like, they will fly anywhere. They will drive anywhere. And that, like, I was so grateful for that, just thinking of that. So yeah, I think friends are important.
Yeah, I think so too, in the sense of it's a lot of people that are not really into social interaction. Like I'm a person that I can go anywhere and be social. I don't mind going places and talking to different people.
I think you
Different
have a hard time letting people close, though.
yeah, I do. Just because I'm good at sensing the people that's genuine, and a lot of people ain't genuine.
It's also just,
It's hard to find genuine people.
yeah, it's really hard to make friends at this age, too. That's why I have been here now for how many months, and I haven't made a single friend here outside of his family. It's just hard. And I don't really feel a need to because I have such good friends, and it's just a whole process. It's awkward. But I don't want to get too off topic, but that is my first blessing of the month. Do you want to go into your first one?
Yeah. So my first blessing is the fact that every day we got a choice, right? And we get to actively choose what we get to actively choose relationships, uh, situations, kick bad habits. We get to actively choose who we are, where we want to go, starting in the now. I'm not saying that it's not something that's just oversimplified. I'm not saying that we're not a product of what we have been or what we did in the past. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that right now in this moment, if there's a lot, if in it in and this is something that a lot of people might need help with, therapy or just taking a lot of time to self-reflect. If there are some things that you struggle with, or that a part of you that you want to kick, or that you want to get better at, you got a choice to actively choose right now that you want to do better in that sense for the future. So I would say that I'm blessed to have discovered that. I just recently discovered that. I just feel like a lot of the times our choices, and in which a lot of us, we don't even give ourselves a choice. We just go based off of what we used to doing, and
Or what you feel.
yeah,
Sometimes you get stuck in how you feel that you feel like you don't have a choice.
yeah, and it's just when that's been the default for so long, and for some people, the default is what they want. I can't speak for everybody, but if for me as a person that's trying to be better than I was yesterday, or be better every single day in some kind of way, even if it's the smallest way, I'ma actively choose ways that I can do that. But that also comes with self-reflecting, therapy, like I mentioned before, just anything that will help you do that. But that is a choice. That's your choice. It's my choice. So that's one blessing.
I will say my other blessing bounces off of that, and it's that I have power and authority over my day, and I learned that from Ty. So I guess this happened. I was having a really hard night one night editing the podcast. As we know, that may test my patience a lot, but I don't even remember what I was getting frustrated over at this point, but something was stressing me out.
It was just random
Technical
technology
difficulties.
malfunctions. Technology it ain't always reliable.
They drive me insane. And sometimes the turnaround time is really quick. And so I end up staying late most nights. And Ty's learning how to edit now. And oh, I bumped the mic. Anyway, he's getting really good at it. So the load has been taken off of me a little. But that one night, I was so frustrated. And I was in a corner like this. And I was ready to give up. I've learned I'm a giver-upper. I like to give. That's horrible. I'll give up so quick. If something's not working out, I'll be like, well, had fun trying. And then I'll just stop. But I was done. And Ty was
Coach,
like,
coach, get her ass out the game.
Ty came up to me and he was just speaking encouragement. And he was like, you have power over this. Like, you have authority over your emotions and over your day. And you can let it ruin the rest of your night, or you can try to turn it around. And even today or yesterday, it was today or yesterday, I was getting
It was yesterday.
frustrated over something because, guys, this is so irrelevant, but I just sat in a chair for 6 hours bedazzling his sister's senior pants, and I ran out of rhinestones, and no store in this area had freaking gold rhinestones. I went on 3 different days to all the stores that could have gold rhinestones, and we couldn't find them. And I was so frustrated. And I think we left one store yesterday, and I was like, well, I give up. But yeah, and then even yesterday, you were like, you can let this ruin the rest of your day, because I got frustrated at him because I needed encouragement in a certain way, and I was not getting the encouragement that I needed.
And and I'm sorry to pause you, but you right, you should feel that way because I talked about this
He
and one
didn't
of the
even know how frustrating it was until I had him help me.
yeah, and I talked about this in one other episode. I think it was the first one, and I said I need to be I need to be there more emotionally for her, and this was another example. There's another one of those examples. But also, when we get into, the giving up aspect, we as we talked about before, if, if a task get frustrating for me, like I can't I can't let that like this goes back to the choice. So I got a choice to say, okay, this is frustrating right now, but I know I got some other stuff I need to do today, or I got some other stuff I need to do soon. So I can't just give up on everything because then that stuff won't get done and it's just gonna create a chain reaction. So I didn't get this done. So now I'm frustrated about this. I'm done. I give up. So now I'm gonna sit here in my frustration. Now I got this coming up. I get to this. I'm still frustrated. I ain't doing that either. And now I done got over that. Now I'm frustrated at the fact that I ain't get this done because I was frustrated. And it's just gonna be a chain
That's
reaction.
me in a nutshell. And that was me in college too. I feel like I am a giver upper because I would rather give up, give myself the power to give up than to keep trying and fail. So literally during assignments, if I felt like I wasn't going to get an A, I wouldn't do it, which is horrible. And that's the only time I ever got zeros and ever got F's is because I would just give up. Because if I was confused, I would rather give up than keep trying and do it wrong and fail.
So you,
And
so
it's not
you,
really failure
yeah, I'm
though,
finna say
like a B or a C or
but I think you are a successful person, and I think that's the trait of a successful person, like
a perfectionist.
yeah, but like you have such high expectations for yourself, and you want to do everything exactly the right way, and you don't feel like you should fail, in which that's good,
But giving
but
up
it
is
also
a failure.
yeah, but your mind is clouded by the fact that you want everything to be so right that you feel like you shouldn't do no wrong or that you might be perfect. But baby, you ain't perfect.
Yeah, I'm.
But it's okay though. It's okay. I like the fact that you have high expectations for yourself because that means I know that when it's time to make big decisions or life changing decisions, you won't ever settle. Now the giving up part, I feel like you're getting better at that. I think that's something
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna
constantly being
say,
worked on. So I think
like,
you're doing a lot better than you done came a long way.
yeah,
So
going.
I'm never worried about that.
I was gonna say going back to my blessing. Like I was frustrated and I did give up, and then Ty was like, "You can let this control the rest of your day," because I just said I wasn't going to do anything else for the rest. I was like, I'm over the day. I'm over this. I was frustrated at you. I was just over the whole day, and I was just going to go to sleep and give up. And he was like, you can let this control the rest of your day, or you can turn it around and get done what you need to get done now. And we ended up finishing the pants. It wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to, and we ended up finding more gold rhinestones that weren't the exact shade of gold as the other rhinestones, but it's okay, and it's still done, and it's beautiful, and everyone loved it. So
Yep.
I'm learning one.
It was just obstacles.
Yeah,
Now it's beautiful. That's just life.
yeah, learning to not be a giver upper, and I have power over my day, over what changes. I can let something stop me or I can keep going. And keep going is a hard choice, but it is a possible choice. And you come out better in the end for it.
And see, choice. That's a choice. Man, to go back to about the choices, a lot of a lot of the stuff too, like I said before, like it comes from lingering on the past or what you used to, and it's like you get so comfortable in what you're used to doing, or the default is that you lose focus. So, when it comes to dealing with the past, right? I came up with an analogy. Okay, I came up with an analogy. So,
Is this a blessing?
yes, it's still part of the choice. It's still part of the choice,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm saying I'm talking about like lingering in the
Yeah.
past. So how can you focus on becoming better in the future if you're constantly worried about the past? Example: say I'm driving my favorite car, right? My favorite car, I really don't have one. I think. Say I'm driving a Benz, Maybach, you know, and I'm driving forward. I'm driving forward. Now, not a lot of times when you're on the road, you are driving backwards. So we driving forward. I look out my window. Okay, I just passed the insecurities. Okay, I just passed some friendships that I lost. Okay, I just passed the fact that I don't always like the way I look. I do this and I do that. I just passed a bad situation that I was in. So I'm still driving forward, but I'm like this. Dang, why them situations ain't like that? Why I didn't do it like this? Why I didn't do it like that? Dang, I messed up. Man, I should never lost that friend. Man, that my ex was this and that, this and that. I'm constantly looking back at all that's back there. How can I know what's in front of me? And you know what I do after that? Dang. And I done crashed my exactly. And I done crashed my car. So I can't focus on driving my car forward, which my car, when I say my favorite car, I'm talking about myself, you, your spirit. I can't focus on driving my car forward if I'm constantly looking back. So focus on what's ahead. Actively choose now what you want to do for your future. But that was part of my choice blessing.
Good job.
Appreciate that, bro.
I'm not your bro.
I love you.
Love you too.
Um,
I did my
you
two
you did two
blessings.
blessings already? Damn. Okay. So my next blessing is that I realize that every day we get to wake up, right? That's a gift. Thank God for waking me up this morning. But I also realize that everything that we need, like everything that I ain't gonna say we, I'm gonna say everything I need, I have, and I haven't felt like I needed more or to chase more. Now, that's not all black and white, because I'm not saying that I'm too content to where I'm not driven and then I become passive. And I'm not saying that I'm too driven and constantly chasing something to where I want more and more and more to where I lose sight of me having enough. I'm saying that I'm blessed to have a balance of contentment in the fact that I have enough in my life and I have everything that I need. And I'm never in a state of where I'm too content to where I become passive of opportunities, or I feel like I don't need to go get, or no, not need. I feel like I don't want to go get more, or I don't want to be driven. And I'm not too driven to where I'm always chasing something. If I want to do another analogy. Say I'm on a football field, you got the 25, 50, you got all the yards. I'm at the 5 yard. I kick a field goal. I say, dang, I want to kick a 10-yard field goal. I kick a 10-yard field goal. Dang, I want to kick a 20-yard field goal. By the time I get to the end of the field and there's no more field, what else am I chasing? This is an example of me like I'm steady chasing something to the point where I never have enough. So I'm always feel like I need more. So where does the true happiness come in there? So that's why I say it's a balance. And I'm truly blessed to understand that balance in my life. You know, I have enough, but I'm also driven enough to want more. You know, so that's my other blessing.
That's your other blessing or your first blessing? Oh, we were doing blessings first. My bad, guys. Okay, we can go into our.
Give me that net.
He's been doing that a lot lately. We're gonna move into our lessons of the month then, and I guess I'll go first. So, my first lesson of the month, I would say the beginning of this month, or not the beginning of this month, if not half of this month, was actually really hard for me. Like, I was in a slump, a really bad slump, because I just felt like a really heavy feeling of inadequacy and like nothing I do was good enough. And we talked about it in our insecurity episode a lot, but it was just a really heavy feeling. Like, I felt like, and it wasn't him making me feel that way, it wasn't anyone in my life making me feel that way, it was just me and my expectations of myself, I guess, making me feel that way. But I was down. Like, it was really hard for me to get through a day without beating myself up. And Ty would try to help me the best that he could, but honestly, I hate to say that TikTok changed my mindset, but there was a TikTok of a girl, and I guess her hook was insecure people are some of the most self-centered people on the planet, but the world gives them a pass because they're insecure. And I was like, wait, shots fired, but let me listen to the whole video. And hopefully I can link it or something because it was actually really eye-opening. And she was basically like, there's two ends of the spectrum of self-centeredness. There's people who get all the shit basically for being self-centered, like narcissists or people who love bomb, or the all the bad guys who are self-centered, only think about themselves. But insecure people have the same level of self-centeredness because they think of everything in relation to themselves. So like if I go on social media, oh, they're doing so well, I'm not, making it about me. Oh, Ty is always happy, I'm not, making it about me. Oh, my day is horrible, I can't do anything right. Like, always thinking about myself. It's just not in a positive way, it's in a negative way. And I'm like, I don't want to be called self-centered. And I used to always think that I wasn't self-centered, and that's why I was so insecure, because I never took time to myself to care about myself.
It's like
But
a
it's like I took time to myself to beat myself up, like not in the right
yeah. It's
way.
like a you self-centered in the way of you looking at your life as it should be like everybody else's life when it's your life and not theirs.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, how can I take myself out of every situation? And ever since I watched that TikTok, it like flipped a switch, because now I will look at Ty and I'll be like, he's good at this. And I won't think about myself in the relationship or the day. I'll be like, well, that went well. Not even me, nothing to do with me. Or like, and then also like working on my self-talk, and even if I get little things done, I'm like, good job, you got that done. And it's still hard for me when I don't get things done or get things done in the way that I want to, but it has helped. The lady who posted the TikTok also posted a follow-up on how people who deal with insecurity can scientifically swap their brain. And I'll just give a few notes that I took because it's based on research, so I recommend you guys look it up. I wish I wrote down her username, but I'll put it in the description of the YouTube video. But self-affirmation, she said, improves self-processing and evaluation, so how you evaluate yourself. And it opens you up to changing your behavior. So if because you're affirming yourself, your brain then thinks that you're capable of changing your behavior, which is why I guess it was so hard for me to get myself out of it because I wasn't affirming myself. So my brain,
Like the little red caboose. I
yeah,
think I can. I
I
think
think I
I can.
can. So my brain wasn't even open to changing my behavior. And then she said it broadens your perspective on the world and it improves your mood and activity. And because you're affirming yourself, your brain is more likely to anticipate future events as being good instead of being bad. So it was also because a lot of people can tell you that, and you kind of, I don't know, something about it being scientifically like that's how your brain actually works when you affirm yourself. I'm like, wow, like I want to start doing that because you can actually rewire your brain into thinking more positively. And it lifted a weight off my shoulders. Of course, I still deal with insecurity here and there, but like when I say that video pulled me out of the slump that I was in, it actually did. So that's my first lesson of the month. We're gonna give Ty to look. We're gonna give Ty some time to look up his first lesson of the
Oh
month.
no, no,
Oh, you already know.
I'm ready. My first lesson, it bounces off of that. Basically, I learned that from reading this book I've been reading. It's called Before You Think Another Thought. Basically, it says that your beliefs create your thoughts, and then your thoughts create your action. So to piggyback off of that, if I believe that if I believe everything negative in my mind to be true, now physically in the physical world, yes, it might be happening. But if I believe all this to be a part of me, all this negative to be a part of me, that goes into my thought patterns. I then begin to think negatively all the time. Then I begin to be negative. Not just be negative in the way I talk to myself, but my actions, my day-to-day life, it's just negative. And I expect negative all the time. So to change that, I, like you said, affirm myself. I know I can do this. I know I'm good at that. I know I might make some mistakes, and that's okay. I'm better at this than what I thought. I I never did this, but I know I can learn. Just all the positive. If I want to change the what I believe about myself, which would then change my thought pattern, which would then change my actions. So we kind of we kind of
Yeah.
bounce back off each other with the first lesson.
I'm gonna mention another TikTok. I'm so sorry, but we were talking in the store the other day about this exact same thing because we were talking about like God and stuff, and I was like, what? I forgot what I said. I I bumped the mic again. I'm so sorry. I was like, your beliefs really shape anything. Like the only reason there's a mass amount of followers in God and Jesus Christ is because people believe, and there's people who don't believe, and every I just had like a little epiphany. Like everything you believe really comes to a reality. Like at first, a part of my insecurity was like I feel like I'm not fulfilling who I am like as an artist because everyone who I see as an artist is doing better than me. But then I'm like, no, I'm an artist because I believe I make good art, and that's all it takes, and that's good enough. Like I believe I am an artist, so I am an artist. I believe in a God, so there is a God, and people can believe what they want, but your beliefs shape your reality. And there was a TikTok where it was actually a podcast clip. There was a girl. And the host was like, "Didn't you get diagnosed with autism?" And she was like, "Yeah, but I said no." She denied it. She denied her. And honestly, if you just believe that's
Yeah,
not a part,
shoot, cause
that's horrible. Oh,
like with my job, like I deal with like people that are sometimes schizophrenic, and when they're having an episode,
their beliefs are their reality.
what they believe and what they are seeing, that's what's happening. So, and I understand that's a condition, that's a mental health disorder, but that just shows you that. it happens, but it don't even have to be labeled schizophrenia for you to go through it. Like it could be something good. Like change what you believe about yourself, and it's not
Yeah.
so easy. Of course, it take time,
And
and you ain't
sometimes
gonna never have.
delusion.
Yeah,
I think I'm
yes.
starting to stand delusion a little bit. And also, the lady on the TikTok, she was like, when you affirm yourself, use the phrase, I will be. Like, I believe I am successful because I will be successful. And then your brain perceives that as something that will happen. And guess what? You don't know if you're successful or not. That's delusion. Live in the delusion. And I was thinking, it takes delusional people to stay in a toxic relationship. You can be delusional and get yourself out. Like it's all about your brain and what you believe. It's like mind-boggling. Anyway.
I'm delusional as a mug. So if somebody asks me why you always happy all the time, I might be delusional. Either I'm slow motion or I'm delusional. One of the two. But that's fine. That's fine. But
Oh, I
that
don't know if you guys heard that, but my stomach was grumbling. Guys, we're going to eat Thai food after this. I'm so excited.
I ain't got no food.
Oh, that wasn't funny.
Yep.
Are you going to go into your second one or me? Okay.
So I know I preach all the time about self love, self care. You know, focusing on yourself to make yourself better, and just focus. So I'm the type of person. I call it selfishly unselfish. I am very selfish in the sense of I'm going to constantly look out for me. I'm going to constantly work on what's best for me and focus on me internally, and that'll shape my outer. I say selfishly unselfish because I do all those things to be
A better
a
person for
better person
everyone.
for everybody else.
And for
So,
yourself.
yeah, for myself mainly, with the help of gracious God, but for myself mainly, and for those,
Like me.
yeah. But what I'm getting at is my lesson is I don't need to get so honed in on that to where I'm not willing to sacrifice. And I learned that over this past month that I am not I don't sacrifice as much because I'm always looking out for what I need or what situation might not serve me because I might want to do something else. So, example, it's stuff that I like to do, that take cuz I work a lot. So when I don't work, I want to be doing what I want to do. Forget everybody else. That's just where my mind go, or that's where it had been going. It's gonna change, cause I'm choosing for it to change. But anyways, I always think about what I want to do. So this past week, I got presented with an opportunity to do something that somebody else wanted to do, right? And you know, instead of I did think about it for a moment because I wanted to do both things, but I was more so on the side of what I wanted to do. And I told this person like, you know what, I might come do that with you, but I already knew in my mind what I really wanted to do. So I gave them the high hopes of I was gonna come and do that with them, only to end up turning them down and saying I'm gonna do what I want to do. And in the moment, I know I didn't care about how they felt about it, and it hit me. It wasn't even it. She
I called him
I
out,
would say
and
she called me
sometimes
out
I'm
on it,
not very nice about it,
and
so I'm
that's fine
sorry.
because I could take a punch, but she called me out on it, and she was just like, you can't always think about yourself, yes, although it's good, you have to learn to sacrifice for those that you love and those that you want to, because that's important in relationships, and I do care about relationships, and I'm just having to learn that sacrificing some that, and even and especially if it costs me nothing to do, like it takes no effort for me to say, you know what, I ain't gonna do that tonight. I get to do that all the time. It's not like I don't get to do what I want a lot. So I can say, you know what, I ain't got to do that tonight. I'm gonna go do what they want to do. Because I want to do that too. I I'm gonna go do what they want to do, because it'll make them happy. So I just gotta learn how to sacrifice, especially if it costs little to no effort.
Yeah, it's balance.
So that was my last lesson.
Another TikTok that I found. They
You a
were
TikToking fool, ain't it?
no, but these are actually ones that stand out to
Oh,
me.
okay.
It was like, this generation is so focused on I'm protecting my peace. I'm protecting my peace that we don't show up for people anymore. Like if friends invite you out, no, I'm protecting my peace. I need a self-care day. And it's like it's become so self-centered that we're not showing up for people. Like and there was another TikTok that was like, I know, I'm so sorry. That was like, everyone wants a village, but villagers have to show up. Like, you cannot expect a community of people if you're not an active member. Like, if you're not sacrificing and
I'm
going
finna
out
steal
of,
that.
yeah, if you're not sacrificing and going out of your way to show up for people, you can't expect them to show up for you.
Right.
And so everyone says it takes a village, but you have to be an active member and you have to go out of your way. Sometimes you have to put your inner peace, self-care, all that aside and get out of yourself, get out of your pride, your whatever, and show up and be there for other people. So I feel like we can all do a little more of that. Not to the point where you're giving more of yourself than you should,
Yeah.
but it's all about a balance.
Yeah.
So
But that was my last lesson. Did you do 2 lessons?
no, I have one more.
Okay, good.
My last lesson of the month is, so part of his other lesson affected me, I guess, in a way, because Ty does work long hours, and so I'm by myself a lot. That's just how it is working from home, and I don't have friends here, so I'm by myself a lot. And up until this month, it really didn't bother me because I am an introvert, so I don't crave social interaction in the way that other people do. But I guess this month it was just really getting to me. But I didn't know that's what I was feeling. I just felt myself getting irritated every time Ty chose his own activities over me. And not that we don't spend time together. So it's in very specific scenarios. So let's say Ty works his 12-hour shift. I'm home by myself. And then he chooses, which he should be able to go play basketball or play video games or things that he likes to do because those are his ways to decompress. Literally up until this month, I didn't care, but something about this month, whenever he did that, I guess it bothered me because I was alone again. And it's not like I asked him to do anything and he said no. If I ever was like, I want you to stay home with me, well, he would in a heartbeat. And I never want to stop him from doing what he wants to do, but something about it like was irritating me. And I'm like, you're being a bitch. Like, why are you getting mad about that? Like, he's allowed to do what he wants to do. And then it wasn't until like I blew up and I'm like, wow, you're getting really upset, that I realized it's because I was experiencing like loneliness, like really deep loneliness. And also sometimes we have game nights with his family, and I realized that is the only time I interact with someone other than him. And so sometimes there's nights where I want to do that and he may not want to do that. He may want to decompress in ways he's allowed to decompress. And when he did say no to that, I got really angry. And I was like, it wasn't making sense in my brain, but I felt like him saying no was him depriving me of socializing with other people, which is not his fault per se, but I was really struggling with that. And I didn't know how to put words to it until we actually talked about it. And it took me a while to talk about it. And I don't even think it came out in a right way or a nice way. It kind of took a build up and a blow up because I couldn't put words to it. But it's a lesson because I'm glad it got to that point so it could come out. And so I could put a word to it and identify what I was feeling. And then I could put words to saying, well, I feel like those days where I might not see you for most of the day are really hard for me. And then talking about, okay, well, what are other intentional ways we can try to spend more time together? Like, you might have thought we were spending enough time, and it's not even that I felt like we weren't spending enough time. I just felt lonely and like I wanted more time with you or with your family or something. Like, I don't know, but I'm glad we got to talk about it. Like,
Me too.
I didn't even know it was a conversation that needed to be had until we had it. And so we're learning how to find more quality time with each other. And these past few days since we talked about it have been really good. And it has nothing has changed really but our perspectives. Like, he's not sacrificing doing what he loves, and decompressing in the way that he decompresses. I'm not stopping him from doing that, but I had to change my perspective around how I view time we spend together and focusing on that and cherishing that. And then you change your perspective. I'm not going to say how you change your perspective because I don't want to talk for you.
Hmm.
But like, it doesn't always require us shifting around our whole schedule. It just took us talking about it and then changing how we view things.
Yeah, basically focusing on the moments because it's like you said, we definitely spend a lot of time. Like me, those things that I like to do is it's a small. If when I'm not working, it's a small portion of my day. The rest of the day, I'm just talking, talking her ear off, and she might be working or something, and I'm just in the background talking or playing. I like to play. Yup, I'm childish, but it's alright. I still got some kid in me. But yeah, just focusing on the moments that we do, like those moments to me, that's quality time to me. Like those moments like that when we get to cook together, we get to eat together. While we eating, we watching TV, we go on a walk. We done start adding more stuff, that we can do together. But it's all coming together.
Yeah, I also feel like I've learned not to make myself feel bad if there are times where I need more emotional support or more time
Yeah,
than
ain't nothing wrong with it.
normal.
Ain't nothing wrong with
And
it.
sometimes I stop myself from talking about it because I'm like, what we have is enough. But sometimes, like, if I'm more lonely than I typically am, then of course I would crave more time than I normally have, and that's okay to ask for that.
Yeah.
So that's my other blessing
Listen,
lesson.
come on with it. Give me that net.
Okay. But yeah, I would say this month was definitely a month of, for me, growing pains, because a lot of points of this month was painful, but it was necessary, and I feel myself growing and kind of shedding off stuff that I need to change and need to get rid of. And I'm normally, when I have hard months, like, I would say that I'm still having a hard month, but I feel calm and I feel good to say that. I feel like I'm coming out on the other end of it. Like, I don't feel stuck. Like, I feel like I'm at least moving forward. And I'm glad we got to talk about it.
This month for me was very realizing. It was a bunch of realization. You know, uh, I I I still do a lot of self reflecting as it is. And, with the reading books, it helps. But I've had a lot of realizations, and I'm not done. I know I'm not done. There's a lot more that needs to be thought about, that need to be reflected on, because I would never be perfect, and I'm perfectly imperfect.
I have one more lesson. I forgot.
Okay.
This is a lesson I learned yesterday. It's I need to give him more grace. I feel like we love each other so much that it's almost natural to call each other out, not in a disrespect. I mean, I will tell me if this is true. I don't think I'm ever disrespectful towards you, but I can be mean. Is that true? Like, I never try to disrespect you, but I think sometimes the way I call you out on stuff can be a little.
Yeah, but it ain't nothing. I mean, it ain't nothing I ain't used to.
But
But yeah, you right. I get what you're saying. You right.
I need to work on that. It's never an attempt to hurt you, but it's out of my own anger, and I need to be more patient in the way that I speak to you when I do get angry. And I know I feel so bad, but I want to work on giving you more grace because you do deserve more grace, and I feel like you give me a lot of grace. And I think sometimes I feel like I'm so hard on you because you don't have the reactions I do, so I don't know if you're actually listening or understanding what I'm saying. But I think so. Just to give context, because I don't want to get off topic, I got upset with him the other day because I was having a hard time, and there's ways that I've told him that I like to be supported when I'm upset. Like, my love language is words of affirmation, so I like being talked to. And his way of supporting me in that moment was just, and you know, it did comfort me, but I feel like I needed some encouragement, and I wasn't given that. So I was like, it should take no effort to just say it's gonna be okay. Like it should take no effort to just say something, anything. And to be met with silence was like really frustrating for me. But the way I was expressing that to you was not the nicest, and so I want to work on. And his response to me was like, I'm learning, give me the chance to learn and get used to it. And like, my excuse was like, we've been together for how long, and like, you should know this by now, you should know this by now. And grace is me giving you that extra chance and that extra opportunity, whether or not I think you deserve it. And I think that's why grace is important, because I get grace from you when I probably least deserve it, and we get grace from God every day when we don't deserve it. And so practicing giving grace, not of my own will, like, not like I shouldn't get to decide whether or not you get it. Like, you should just get it. And so that's something I learned yesterday, that I want to give more grace to you because you give a lot to me. So I'm sorry for being so angry sometimes. I love you so much. I feel really bad. And I do want to preface, I am never disrespectful to him. And I hope you think that too.
No, I know that. I know that.
But it's
I haven't
you
been giving no explanation because I know these things,
you
and I'm
guys
just
know
letting them.
how females can get snappy in the way we say things. I'm not calling him out of his name, but me saying, you should know this by now, that's bare minimum effort, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not nice. And so I want to work on controlling my emotions and how
Don't
I
worry
say
about it.
things more.
Don't worry about it. I'm on your ass.
And
I'm finna start getting on your ass now. No, I'm
you're
just playing.
always.
I'm just playing.
And I guess that's very humbling to admit on the internet, that sometimes I can be mean, but he knows that, and so I'm working on it. So yeah, that's my last blessing.
Now, mind you, now we don't come to y'all with every way that we talk, communicate, or take care of stuff. So you don't have to worry about what you putting out. Yeah, because we still handle our issues and our problems that we have together outside of this. We just give y'all real life, real growth,
Real
really
conversation.
exactly.
And we keep growing. I think it gets easier to talk about stuff that might not be the best look on us. But it gets easier to talk about because we're growing out of it. Like, we're not staying there. That's not who I am. That's who I was, and I'm growing into a better person. And that's why we talk about this kind of stuff. So you don't have to say who you are. Your beliefs shape your actions. And what was it?
Your beliefs shape your thoughts, and your thoughts will
Shape.
determine your actions.
Yes. Oh, on that note, that's the end of our episode. We love you guys. We'll join you. Oh no, you'll join us, or we'll join you, or however that goes, on the 1st of May for our next episode, our bonus episode. If you have a topic you would like to submit, guys, please, we'll talk about anything.
Please send in some topics.
This is We're desperate at this point.
Send in some topics.
Slide in the DMs with any topic you would like us to talk about. And
Send in some topics.
okay, we will see you guys next time. Bye.